Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're reviewing a bunch of viral TikTok leggings, and it has been 2 years since I've reviewed viral TikTok leggings. And I have to say, TikTok, we've come a long way in the leggings that are going viral. If you guys remember, the OG viral TikTok leggings were those awful like scrunch fishnet leggings, or the like awful textured ones. And listen, I can be a little on the wild side with my legging choices sometimes, I can. And I just couldn't get behind those. They were also just like cheaply made and just like not good. So I'm feeling like today we have some better ones. So while these may not be quite as viral as the OG TikTok leggings, we definitely have a couple pairs of leggings that I see a lot on TikTok. Some with scrunches, you know, to flatter the glutes, some kind of more basic styles. So I have high hopes for these. If you're new here, my name is Kathryn and I review a lot of activewear, occasionally other styles of clothing. If you're not yet subscribed, make sure to do so. It's free. And let's get started and hope we find some hidden gems. So most of these leggings today, actually it might be all of them, are from Amazon. I feel like most of the leggings that go viral on TikTok are Amazon because they're just so easy to order and people love to just like scroll on TikTok, go to an Amazon storefront and buy. But if you guys have any non-Amazon leggings you've seen on TikTok that you'd like me to try, let me know in the comments down below. A brand I see quite often on TikTok is Sunzel. So this is an Amazon brand. And let me just say, opening these up, these feel really soft. I feel like Amazon brands, while they might have like some of the cute styles, sometimes they lack like the nice fabrics that a higher end legging can offer. These are feeling pretty good. And there's a couple things that excite me about these. So these are the Sunzel crosswaist leggings. As always, I'm going to put the price on the screen for what it was when I bought it, but Amazon prices fluctuate all the time. When I bought these, they were $23. I would say that's a pretty low price point. Some of the leggings today are like $40, and like the audacity to have $40 leggings on Amazon? No. Anyways, we'll get into that. So Sunzel, I've tried. They're just like a classic Lululemon Align shape type leggings before. These are slightly different. So first we have a cross waist. I love a cross waist. I think it's super flattering. Unfortunately, these do have front seams. I did throw in a couple no front seam leggings today. They might have not been like a viral TikTok leggings, but I needed some options for the girlies who can't handle the front seams, aka me. Cute cross waist, and then like, this is how I know Amazon is stepping it up. Look at this, curved glute seams. These are just going to contour the glutes. I'm so excited. The fabric material is lightweight, but nicely brushed, and it's actually really, really soft. So here is the fabric, nice and brushed, soft. I believe Sunzel has like a couple different lengths, but I'm not entirely sure what this length is. And then we have an extended crotch gusset that goes down the leg. I feel like I'm seeing less of that extended crotch gusset lately, but it's still around. Let's try these on. Definitely one of the best Amazon legging materials I've felt in a while. It feels very luxurious, high quality. It's brushed, so it is going to collect like pet fur and lint. That's just going to be expected, but it's super soft. Love the cross waist here. We have a slight dip down in the front, gives a little lower tummy control, and the wrap goes all the way to the other side of the waistband, so it's pretty long. Also a nice like mid to high rise. We get a little peak of belly button here, but it does come up pretty high rise on the sides. We do have a front seam, and for me, it is gonna give me a little bit of camel. Part of it's just my anatomy. I also like to pull my leggings up like pretty high. I don't like a saggy legging, okay? So it's not the worst front seam I've felt, but for me, I personally always avoid a front seam because they just always give me camel toe. And then we go around to the back. I like the seams, like kind of, but this part right here is too thick. So it kind of goes over the glutes too much. I feel like it needs to be a little higher and not quite as wide in this area. So there are definitely some changes I would make to these back seams. I think it's more flattering than a flat across seam, but definitely could still use some work. I think we're just gonna go medium on the booty scale. It's not necessarily enhancing, not doing anything bad. They're pretty thin, like overall light to medium compression, super stretchy. I'd say like light cellulite coverage. I wouldn't expect a lot of cellulite coverage with these. And then here they are. These feel like about like a 26-inch inseam on me, so not quite a full length. But yeah, I highly recommend these for the material alone if you're okay with a front seam. Personally, I don't love a front seam, so I don't know how much use I'd get out of these, but if you're okay with it, these are definitely one of the best Amazon legging materials I've felt in a while. Next, we're gonna go to a pair of seamless leggings. So these are the Celer Chemistry Seamless Scrunch leggings. Got a size small in basically everything today. This is pretty like sturdy packaging. It even says, please remember to reuse me. I don't really think anyone's reusing this packaging. So I don't know. These are $31.99. So definitely like hiking up there for Amazon leggings. I get a lot of emails like daily from people to review stuff. Celer is one of those brands who just bombarded me with emails like probably like last year mostly, but especially for like affordable leggings, Amazon leggings. Sometimes I just like to try things myself, buying them with my own money. All of this was bought with my own money. So there are lots of Scrunch seamless leggings becoming popular on Amazon these days. So these are one of them. So these are the Celer leggings. I loved this little like periwinkle blue. We have like a 3-tiered compressive waistband. The brand name is embroidered into the fabric. And then we have kind of a slight marl, a pretty thin looking scrunch back here. So here's the waistband, and then here is the scrunch. It's definitely on the thin side, feels stiff. So many more affordable brands are starting to come out with these kind of seamless leggings, but sometimes they kind of flop when you put them on. So let's give these a try. Okay, so here they are. They're definitely super stretchy, but I still get a nice amount of compression in the waistband. For these, I'd stay true to size, but they're pretty compressive in the waist, so if you're in between, I would size up. In these lighter colors, in a seamless fabric like this, I would definitely stick to light colored underwear, nude, because there is a chance that it is sheer. We will do a quick squat test of these, but personally, I'm okay wearing something that's not fully squat proof as long as I'm wearing a nude underwear. So true to size, very stretchy. Compression, it's pretty like light compression, but the waist is more like medium. And then we go to the back. So definitely high on the booty scale, flattering scrunch detail. I love leggings like this. I feel like they're super flattering. The waistband sits above the hip bones. This scrunch, however, feels a little bit more wedgie-like than some other scrunches. So when you squat, you kind of are gonna feel that tightness. So just be prepared. If you haven't worn a legging like this, sometimes you can feel a little bit of wedgie. So these do have a little bit of marl to the fabric, as you can see, so you might get a little cellulite coverage, but they are still pretty thin, so I wouldn't expect a ton. And these could be just a teeny bit longer for me. They are kind of like a 7/8, so not the worst. So that tightness in the scrunch does kind of concern me, because I know sometimes scrunch leggings like this can rip. I did have a pair of scrunch leggings like this from Kamo Fitness, like their OG collection. Those did rip. Thankfully not while they were on me, but these are the more affordable option of the seamless scrunch leggings today. So I'd say that these are actually pretty nice for an Amazon seamless. Another brand that I've been seeing go viral on TikTok is CRZ Yoga, specifically their Butterluxe leggings. Listen, you put butter in the name of a legging, and people are gonna go crazy. Personally, I see through it a little bit. I will say, these are soft. The Sunzels were softer. These almost have more of a performance feel to them, so wouldn't be calling this Butterluxe, but I didn't name them. So here's the fabric. It's very, very slightly brushed. Does feel lightweight, but it's definitely not the same like, wow, that soft feel that the Sunzel ones had. CRZ Yoga is another brand that can kind of hike up there in price. These were $32, so not too bad. And I will say, I always put the size range at the end of each item that everything comes in, so you can know before even clicking on it if it's going to come in your size. Because I will say a lot of Amazon brands don't have a very inclusive size range. CRZ Yoga comes in extra, extra small to extra large. So not great. I would like to see like at least like a 2 to 3XL, but they also come in multiple inseams. They have 25 and 28 inch. So these are just the classic Butterluxe leggings. They have a seamless waistband, feels pretty stretchy. They do have a front seam, which concerns me a little bit. I know some people like the front seam. For me, it just always causes me problems. And then very basic, just straight across seams in the back. They're definitely like your go-to basic legging. I feel like I'm going to like this material. It's just, don't imagine something that's going to feel like a Lululemon Align, because it doesn't have that same brushed feel to it. So let's try it on. Okay, I think I might see the hype with these. I still think they could be softer because they're not as soft as the Sunzels, but these do feel very naked feel. So, and I feel like that's what a lot of people like. So these are the CRZ Butterluxe. They are super light compression and just incredibly stretchy. Like you're not gonna have any restriction in these. With that, we have this front seam, but I really don't think it causes me a lot of problems because they're so stretchy that it's just not really pulling up on it very much. Also, because these are so stretchy, I feel like you could either size down, or at least if you're in between size down. This is a small, kind of my normal size, but I probably could do an extra small. So if you tend to run in between sizes, I would definitely choose the size down because these are very stretchy. We have a pretty thick waistband, so we get a little bit of lower tummy control here. Like I said, overall light compression. And then the back, I still think these only deserve a medium on the booty scale. They're not doing anything to really enhance the glutes. And this seam could go just a teeny bit higher. We could hike these up. Then you're like, wow, these look good, but they have a front seam. So then we have problems. But I mean, if you really want to, they can definitely be hiked up the glutes for a more flattering look. Probably not very cellulite friendly. These are very thin and not very brushed, so there's not really much to hide any cellulite. These come in multiple inseams, but I'm pretty sure I just got the 25 because they didn't have a lot of colors in the 28-inch inseam, so they're a little bit short for me. So I actually really like this material. Now that it's on, it really does feel kind of between a semi-performance and a semi-brushed legging, but I love how stretchy these are, how naked feel. These are a great legging if you just like really don't want any compression on the belly. Like sometimes on a really bloated day for me, I just can't have my belly squeezed. So having something nice and stretchy like this is really comfortable, but they could definitely use some changes in the overall design, in my opinion. Okay, let's throw in a no front seam option. So these are from the brand Suuksess, which was an OG viral TikTok legging brand, but those ones were like ultra scrunch, like probably not everyone's cup of tea. So these are the Suuksess no front seam ruched leggings, $23.95, got a size small. Yeah, something with Suuksess, I just always feel like I like some things about them, but then I feel like they have a lot of cheap waistbands. Like you'll see a cheap elastic just like floating inside the waistband randomly. Here we do have a top band at the top, and I just don't really like the top band, but I had to try these because there's not that many no front seam leggings on Amazon. So these have no front seam. They have this little ruched detailing at the front. They have a little hidden pocket in the back of the waistband, good for my runners or anyone who likes that. And these also do have that curved glute seam action in the back. And these kind of have a sleek performance feel. So here is the legging up close. They are not brushed. They're just definitely sleek performance. Little crotch gusset. Let's try them on. Okay, here these are. And kind of as suspected, there are things I like about them, but overall they're just kind of falling short. First of all, just not a huge fan of the ruched detail. It kind of stretches out so it barely looks like anything. Love that it's no front seam, that's great. Kind of ruins it with the top band for me. Oh, they're trying to do like a hidden elastic waistband in this, but it kind of just feels like it's, oh my gosh, are you serious? I'm pretty sure the elastic waistband is literally only from here to here. So what is that supposed to do? It's not gonna do anything. I literally can barely, this is as much as I can pull it out. So it's literally useless. Okay, another L for Suuksess. The rest of the waistband does have that little top seam, so if you lean over to the side, it will kind of cut in. I'd say mostly true to size. If in between, kind of leaning towards size up because of this top band, it's already pretty snug on me. Everything else is about a light to medium compression. It's that sleek performance material. You probably won't get a ton of cellulite coverage. I'm giving it a mid to high rise because this does feel like it's gonna wanna slide down a little bit and sit to where it's right below the belly button. So I could pull it up to a high rise, but realistically, when I'm actually wearing it, it's gonna wanna sit here. And the glute seams, I think that this one is the first one to actually deserve a medium to high. These glute seams are really nice. They do contour the glutes. They do go above the glutes. So this is pretty flattering on the glutes. Not going to get a lot of cellulite coverage. And the length is definitely more like a 7/8 on me. So these are probably like a 25-inch inseam. So yeah, I'm just never super impressed with Suuksess leggings. It's always something I would fix. So they have a couple things going for them. Definitely not bad leggings. I'm just not really a huge fan of the waistband, and even the fabric, I think I would have preferred a brushed fabric as opposed to a sleek performance because I kind of feel like these are going to slide down. Next, we're gonna try another Sunzel legging because they have flare leggings. I tried multiple Amazon flare leggings a while ago for a flare legging YouTube video I did, but the Amazon ones, they just weren't super cute. So, okay, immediately these are not feeling quite as good. Oh, you know what? These totally feel like the airy cross waist ones. Okay, I might actually like these. So immediately you can see that these are kind of like more lightweight and like have less structure to them. So they have a cross waist, they're super lightweight, might be a little sheer and light colors, but the seams are what is making me feel like these are like the airy ones. So they have these super thin little seams that are very similar to the airy offline cross waist. And those ones, even though they had a front seam, it was very non-invasive. So I'm hoping this front seam is also non-invasive for me, but the fabric is very thin, so it might not be very cellulite friendly. These ones were $27.99. The size range is extra small to 2XL, so a little bit better. And the inseam is 30 inches, which isn't long enough for me. I'm 5'9". I know, sometimes it shocks people. They'll think I'm short because I'm always like filming by myself. No, I'm a large person. It does come in 32 inches, but only in the black currently. And for me, I kind of like at least a 33 inch, so could use some work in the length department. Then we got a little flare. So let's see how these are. Okay, so here they are. Really feel like Sunzel has this little crossover waist down because this feels really nice. So these are more of a high rise. The material is definitely different though. If you've tried the Aerie Offline Real Me leggings, it's very similar. So super, super stretchy, kind of sleek feeling. But I feel like that legging material over time didn't quite hold up for me. I definitely got some pills. It's a little bit thin, so a little bit worried. We have a front seam here. I'd say it's very mildly invasive, so doable, but not great. Again, I always prefer without a front seam, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Very thin, light compression. The glutes, it does go above the glute seams, but I feel like it doesn't do much else. We're just sticking with a medium on the booty scale. No cellulite coverage for these. These are very lightweight, very thin, so these will show a lot of cellulite, especially in lighter colors. And let's take a look at the flare. So these are the 30-inch, so they are a little short for me, but it's really not that bad. Like, it could be worse. I could use those extra 2 inches, but it's not too bad. And I do like how these flares go. They're tight all the way to about mid-calf, and then they kind of flare. It's not too dramatic, it's not too skinny. I think this is a nice flare. Sometimes they flare too high, sometimes it's too low. I think this is pretty good overall. So I'm a little worried about this material. I feel like I would have liked it better in their other super soft material. I also wish they had more lengths in more of the colors because they only have black in the longer length. They could probably use a shorter length as well for my short girlies, but overall pretty good, and I'm happy to see more actually cute flare leggings on Amazon. Next, people on TikTok are always talking about the Aurola seamless leggings. I have tried these, but it's been a while, so we're trying them again. So these are the ones that are $39.99. Like, that's not even like affordable anymore. For me, for it to be like a good Amazon legging, it has to be like good quality. Like, I don't want anyone looking at me and being like, those leggings are cheap. And they need to be affordable enough that it's worth it buying these over buying something that's high end, because for these to be $40, it would be something that I would want to wait for it to be on sale. And I feel like I have seen these on sale and they're still like $32. I really like the Amazon price range to be like within the 20 to 30, not really much above. Occasionally if it's like 32, like okay, you know, but if it's $40, it's kind of a lot for an Amazon legging. I need these Amazon brands to like step it back a little bit, because if we're just gonna end up being the same price as like mid-price athletic wear brands, it kind of loses the appeal of shopping on Amazon. I don't know. Like, are we gonna have to start going back to AliExpress? AliExpress, we used to have $10 leggings back in the day. That wasn't even that long ago. Like literally I could buy like almost any legging for like $12 there. It was wild. It did take like 2 months to come, but anyways, Aurola seamless scrunch leggings. These come in extra small to extra large, kind of similar to the Celer leggings. The scrunch looks a little bit wider though. So here's the scrunch on the Aurolas. Got a little more stretch to it than the Celer ones. The Celer one was really tight. We have that 3-tiered waistband, embroidered logo, and just a very stretchy seamless. I have been told to size down in these, but I don't know. I feel like I didn't last time and it was okay. So let's try this on. Okay, so here are the Aurola leggings. I am kind of surprised. These like don't feel like how I remembered them to be. I almost might like the Celer leggings more. We'll go over it. So first of all, definitely do not need to size down. They must have fixed their sizing from before. They feel more compressive than before too. Like these are feeling medium compression as opposed to the Celer ones, which were light compression. Getting a nice like snatched waistband. So if you're in between sizes, I would definitely choose the size up. And I felt like the Celer ones, I really liked the marl of the fabric and they were soft. I'm getting kind of an itchy seamless on these. And if there's something I don't like in a legging, it's when they're like itchy and it kind of like feels like, I don't know, like your butt just feels itchy throughout the day. I'm kind of getting a little bit of itchy seamless feel with these, which I don't remember having that in the past. So for like $10, $15 more than the Celer leggings, I don't know. I will say the scrunch is super flattering. It really sits up between the cheeks there, high on the booty scale. These are a little bit thicker than the Celer leggings as well, more of a medium compression, thicker, so you will get a teeny bit more cellulite coverage. Still very stretchy, shouldn't feel any restrictions. And I feel less tightness up in the scrunch, which is a good sign as well. And then as for the length, with seamless leggings like this, I feel like you can really pull them down and get quite a bit of length out of them. So if you prefer a less tight scrunch, but maybe a little more compression, maybe a tiny bit of itchiness, it's gonna be these ones. I know no one prefers itchiness, but that's just like one of the trade-offs. But if you rather have a softer, more marled seamless, a little tighter scrunch, I would go with the Celer ones. But yeah, I mean, they're both flattering and feel pretty good quality as well. And lastly, I found a pair of CRZ Yoga leggings that have no front seam. Again, none of these leggings with no front seams were viral TikTok leggings, but I just feel like I had to share because I like a no front seam legging. So these are the CRZ Yoga Ulti-Dry, that's kind of hard to say, leggings, $30, so not too bad. And they do have no front seam. I thought these would be kind of a performance legging, but they actually feel like pretty soft to the touch. Here they are close up. I wouldn't quite call it brushed, but it doesn't have that like cool slick feeling like most performance leggings do. We have no top band. This waistband looks a little bit big for a small, but we'll see. We have side pockets, and the glute seams in the back are pretty flat across, but maybe just have a slight arc to them, which could be good. Let's try these on. Okay, so already I'm loving the shape of these. This is proof that CRZ can do no front seam leggings. So why don't we see more of them? Because this shape in the front, very flattering. Not only do we have that, but we also have this cute little like kind of like wrapped side pocket detail. It actually creates 2 layers of pockets and can easily fit an iPhone. So I love the spacious pockets. No top band either, so that's really nice. I was kind of expecting a little more sleek performance, but it's like kind of like a dense, medium compression, almost very slightly brushed. It's soft, but it's not going to collect a lot of pet fur. Like the pet fur is kind of brushing right off of it without having to be super, super sleek. Then we get to the back. Still, the seams could be more flattering. So these are just about a medium on the booty scale. Not really enhancing, not really squishing it down. Overall, definitely feels a little bit compressive, but they still have a lot of stretch, and I would definitely be able to move around well in them. My only thing, like I was saying, I thought the waistband would be a little big, and it definitely does run just a teeny bit big in the waist. So personally, I could use a little more of a tapered waistband. Generally true to size. If you're in between, I'd probably size down. You don't have to worry about a front seam, you know, giving you camel toe, and then might get a little more compression in the waist. And then here's the length. Again, these are probably like a 25-inch inseam. Could be a little longer for me, but these are really nice. For an Amazon legging, the fabric feels good quality. I love the no front seam, and I love the pockets. So only thing I would really change is the seams in the back. I don't always really care. So I could just use a little more compression in the waist. I feel like that would help them stay up more, because these might slide down just a little bit, but it's hard to say. Okay guys, that is it for all of the Amazon leggings. I will say most of them today did pretty good. Like maybe with the exception of the Suuksess leggings, I think I would recommend basically all of these. As mentioned, with basically all of them, there are like a couple things I would fix, but overall for like TikTok viral leggings, we're doing much better than we were 2 years ago. So if I missed any leggings that you'd like me to try, make sure to comment them down below. See if I need to make a part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.